So that is time right now. Basically, the last video talked about how they overanalyzed the June 24 brain savant test, due to which now you have people like Ibrahim, the greedy framer, even enviously, well, greedily trying to send me request for his sister, which was supposed to look like this, since that is what she looks like. Literally, that girl right there from March 9th that was sent to me, and then it was due to this that obviously he was advertising her to me on July 18 at first when it was overanalyzed, just like that, and a zoomed in picture looks like this. So basically, after it was overanalyzed, what ended up happening was Adamji led law enforcement into a ditch. At first, it was over June 24th was overanalyzed, and the results came out around July 18. Now, Adamji, it was due to Adamji. Adamji was an envious liar. What ended up happening was Adamji was basically lying under oath, and the courts had no proof or evidence of this. They found out on August the 7th. Well, they first found out on July the 11th, but by that time, it had already, I guess the process for overanalyzing it had already started. And then after that, the big lies came out. Like August 7th, he was seen fabricating and feeding someone entire lies, stories about me, to try to make me look like I was dumb, stupid, low IQ, bad exam taker, all of these things out of extreme envy. And he also expresses extreme envy by openly saying that he was so envious of me that he wished that people like me that were lived overseas would be kicked out of their countries that they lived in and forced to go back to their home countries. He said that from his own mouth, he said, "I am so envious of Hassan and people that live overseas that I wish they would get kicked out of that country and forced to go back to their own countries." He said that out of extreme rage of envy. Yes. So on basically on August 7th, he was seen basically spoon feeding someone a whole bunch of lies. First, making that person look like I knew him really well, and then spoon feeding him a whole bunch of lies to make it look like I was dumb, stupid, low IQ, bad exam taker, all of these things. By that time, it was too late. Now, on August 7th, they found out that Adamji was a complete total liar, but with the previous evidence of why he was lying being extreme envy, him saying openly in a state of rage of envy, he said, "I am extremely envious of Hassan. I wish people like Hassan that lived overseas would be kicked out of that country and forced to go back to their own." He only said that out of extreme rage of envy of me. And then on August the 7th, we find out exactly how much lying that Adamji had basically done, where he was literally seen fabricating a false testimony to another person. Now, he was already seen fabricating false testimonies July 11th and all these days with Mahrukh and Abdullah and all of them. But what ended up happening was he started playing a game where he would deceive the courts by saying, "I've been caught lying a lot of times. He hasn't." And then he would go grab a random person and have that random person with, let's say, one text that I would give him, send him, and in that one text, I would happen to use the word Johnny, which means love. People use words like that. I used to use the word bud a lot, and they would make fun of me online, literally in front of everyone. I didn't really care. But yeah, like, it's just an expression. Johnny just means love, and some people use that to be nice towards other people. And so I used that expression, and he used that he got one person, and he was playing the game of deception, deceiving the courts by saying, "I've got caught lying a lot. He hasn't." And then he just grabs a random person that I only texted one time, had that person claim a billion different things about me, saying that I was dumb, stupid, low IQ, bad exam taker, terrible at giving exams, things of that sort of nature, only out of extreme envy of all these people liking me due to my brain savant. Now, Adamji, by now, he got caught way too many lies, literally spoon feeding another person after deceiving the courts into thinking that I knew this person really well, even though there was no record of me ever talking to this person in person, never online, never on the phone, just one text message. That was it. Um, and all the lies that he had this person make were all completely fabricated and complete and total lies. But by this time, obviously, law enforcement found out that Adamji was a liar and he was spoon feeding other people only after he had gotten caught lying against me so many times due to extreme envy. So by now, it was known fact that Adamji was a complete and total liar and fabricator. But by this time, it was too late. They had already Adamji, out of his extreme rage of envy, had already walked law enforcement right into a ditch. He expressed overconfidence in the fact that artificial intelligence would take its word back on my brain savant if it would get overanalyzed. Like, what are the chances of that? So what ended up happening was he obviously didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't care. He was just saying, showing that overconfidence out of extreme rage of envy that they did not know. They knew he had envy. They weren't absolutely sure that he was extremely fabricating every single thing until they actually saw him on August the 7th, literally spoon feeding someone else all the lies only because he had gotten caught so many times lying that now he gave it to another person and had that person start to make lies, and he was literally seen spoon feeding that person lies word after word that were completely and totally fabricated. So by that time, though, it was too late. Yes, it was found out that Adamji was an envious liar, deceiver, and fabricator, but by that time it was too late. By July 18, June 24th was already overanalyzed. Artificial intelligence had already made up its mind. The fact that I was 1,000 times more powerful than normal human beings. I did have instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and I had focusing, which basically means I do not need to take breaks. And since I could do literally an entire textbook of something like Arenbaugh's medicinal chemistry in less than a day's time, which would mean that in 30 days time I would have more than 30,000 pages. With innovation also being a superhuman power of mine, I could literally get one of those patents that normal human beings wish to get once in their lifetime and run on it literally for their entire lifetime. I could get one done literally every single 30 days, and I love doing it. Since between October 2019 till July, mid-June 2023, literally all I did was stare into a textbook from morning till night. They would open and close the laundry door outside my door, and they would have car engines revving outside, but literally that's all I would do. So if those superhuman powers of mine would be released, then obviously I could do it literally every single 30 days, get one patent done easily. So basically, yes, what ended up happening was even after July 18, they law enforcement did not like the answer that artificial intelligence gave them. Obviously not. So what they ended up doing was they overanalyzed it over and over again every single day. And I told them in the start, I said, look, quitting while you're still ahead is not the same as quitting. If you stop now, it'll be a lot better for you, or else you're just going to have to obviously learn about more details, like how much powerful it gets over time, what parts of my brain are part of my brain savant. Obviously, I know innovation, instantaneous photographic memory, and focusing are. I don't know about anything else. I also know that my powers increase over time. I don't know if I have calculation or not. They never let me test it. So how would I know? So basically, yeah, they had it locked up the entire time. So basically, yeah. So now what ended up happening was everyone on the other side who are supposed to be on the other side are actually begging me to either marry their sister, marry their daughter, or literally sleep with their in-laws in order to get illegal assurance of money from me. Obviously, if you find out about a person that they're a triple brain savant, they have instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing, it's thousands of times more powerful than normal human beings can ever be, and that these powers increase over time exponentially, what are you going to do? Obviously, you're going to try to find a way of getting that money for yourself. So that's what everyone who's supposed to be on the other side is basically trying to find a way to try to get money from me. Now, we're going to start with Ibrahim, since he is the most strong critic against me due to his extreme envy and rage, obviously. But obviously, June 28th, July July 28th and early August. I think it was like around August the 9th. Yeah, it was August the 9th that he sent me Brother by Your Side, the printer, big printer, basically saying, I want you to work with me and trying to scam other people's daughters for sex for me, basically, is what Ibrahim the Greedy Farmer spokesperson was trying to say against me. So basically, yeah. So we're going to start with him going after this money very greedily. So July 18, basically, it gets overanalyzed. Now, that is supposed to be his sister right there. That's what she looks like. And this is the first ad that they sent me on March the 9th to let you know what she actually looks like. Now, July 18, they changed her face completely to not have an exact replica of her, mainly because of the fact that they did not want to be I don't know why, but she doesn't look anything like her. But they were basically asking, are you willing to marry my sister and give me legal assurance of money, is what Ibrahim was saying. And then on August the 16th, after they kept over analyzing it over and over again, obviously, yes, it started again. August the 16th, 39 minutes past midnight, he tries to advertise his sister to me again. And then August the 18th, which is not that long ago, 11:06 p.m., he tries to advertise his sister to me again. So not that long ago, meaning right now this is the time and this is the date. So you have a good idea. So now Ibrahim the Greedy Farmer is advertising his sister to me. Now let's get on with the other people. So basically, yes. This is the printer that he would always send, saying "Brother at your side." Every time he thought that he would lose due to his drug-addicted sex rage, wanted me to go scam other people's daughters. Now, the next person is going to be Farah the Greedy Farmer. Obviously, Farah the Greedy Farmer advertises her daughters to me every single day like a crazed lunatic. Okay, her daughters are like these socially awkward, abnormal-looking, ugly girls. I'm not interested in them, and I already told her, but she still advertises every single day, almost as if it's by force, while claiming in court that I'm a really bad person. Well, if I'm a really bad person, then why are you advertising your daughters to me? Now, it gets to the point of extremity where she's basically advertising incest to me in multiple occasions that has occurred. Now, when June 24th was overanalyzed, you have incest being advertised by Farah the Greedy Farmer. Okay, which is going to be very clearly seen from June 24th. It is I have the evidence for this. It is going to be right over here. Let me show it to you. So we have it from June 24th, and so July 18 is when it's first overanalyzed. June 24th, brain savant test. So July 21st, obviously, this was marked as an open advertisement for incest throughout the entire year of the entire year of 2024, and yet it was still being sent to me on July 21st. Now, it didn't just stop there. Right now, when they're overanalyzing it over and over again, it gets sent to me again on July 18. The open advertisement for incest, it gets sent to me again on July 18, 11:30 p.m. So then you have Farah the Greedy Farmer. Obviously, she advertises her daughters to me every single day, but that is a totally different thing. The extreme way of going after money is when you're advertising incest to someone, and obviously she would only do that when the brain savant test result, literally artificial intelligence, would say that he has superhuman powers in terms of instantaneous photographic memory. He could do an entire textbook of something like Arnbaugh's medicinal chemistry in less than a day's time. With innovation being a literal superhuman power, he can get this a new patent done literally every single 30 days of his life, is what artificial intelligence literally told them after June 24th was overanalyzed. And now that it gets overanalyzed every single day with law enforcement hoping that they're going to get a different answer, well, now these people get even more greedy, and then they go after incest. With Farah the Greedy Farmer trying to first advertising incest on July 18, July 21st, when the initial June 24th is overanalyzed, and then she is advertising incest to me again on August the 18th at 11:30 p.m. Trying to get illegal assurances of money that way. This is the extreme way possible in order to get illegal assurance of money. Now, she already advertises her abnormal looking ugly daughters to me all day, night long, every single day. She's this big, fat, ugly old fart herself, and I have no interest in this weirdo or any of her daughters. But yeah, she advertises all day long. Now we've got Ibrahim the Greedy Farmer with his sister, Farah the Greedy Farmer with herself, and that is incest, and her daughters. And now let's look at my dad, the Greedy Farmer. On August the 11th, he is saying that I'm going to find you a woman from my in-laws for you to commit incest with. August the 12th, he's saying I'm going to find you a woman from my in-laws for you to commit incest with. August the 13th, he's once again saying, I'm going to find you a woman from my in-laws for you to commit incest with. Obviously, due to the brain savant test result being overanalyzed, and obviously he asked this person from his in-laws if she was willing to commit incest with me, and he was probably just like, well, I'll get money and then we'll split it 50-50 between you and me. And she obviously told him, what is wrong with you? Why would you even ask something like this to me? So now all these people that are supposed to be on the other side are trying to find ways of getting money out of me through these ways. Now you have someone else like Kelly. Now Kelly obviously advertises every single day, but her daily advertisements are some things that are usually really small, like it would be like L'Oreal, or it would be Booking.com. Okay, or it might be, it'll just be like L'Oreal Paris. But when brain savant test results are overanalyzed, it gets really dirty. Mainly, it gets it starts to look something like this on August 9th. Okay, something like this is what Kelly starts to send me on online. Okay, and then obviously dirty pictures are starting to be sent to me. This is also August the 9th. Okay. And then obviously, and then it's right recently. So basically on July 18, when it was first overanalyzed, she would send me a really dirty picture. I can show it to you. It's going to be in here as well. Yeah, it's like one of those really dirty pictures that she sends usually. Now, right now, when the brain savant test result from that time period was overanalyzed, she sent it to me again. So this is after July 18. This is after June 24th was first overanalyzed, and she sent this dirty picture to me on my YouTube, and then the same picture was and these dirty ads were also sent to me on YouTube along with that. I could show you some other ones along with that, with one like that would show like a girl that is like really thirsty over there. Okay, and then some other ones that would be really dirty as well that she would send me online. This decorator's ad, it's like a decorator's cake that the person gets, but it basically says we make it stand out. It's supposed to be a dirty ad. And so now recently, when it was overanalyzed over and over again, she started sending me dirty ads again, with this one right over here being seen right over there. So basically everyone on the other side gets really greedy, and they try to find other ways of trying to get this money from me, basically through either mainly in the most extreme way possible, which would include incest. My dad, the Greedy Farmer, just got yelled the heck out by his in-laws, who would basically say, what is wrong with you? Why would you even ask such a question? Only because of his greed for money. funny, and he thought that I was sexually perverted like he is. And so basically, yeah, Farrah the Greedy Framer has been offering incest, as you saw right now. That cat food ad has been marked as an ad for incest in the year 2024. And then, except for that, Ibrahim the Greedy Framer has been out advertising his sister to me over and over again. And then you have Kelly, who's also gone to advertise very dirty ads to me. So yes, my dad, the Greedy Framer, with his in-laws over there, okay, right over there, again, once again, and then right over there, he's advertising his in-laws only for them to reject this and say, what is wrong with you? We are never going to do something like this. Do we look like we are perverted or corrupt, sort of thing? And so obviously then after that, he obviously stopped. But until then, he was definitely advertising incest to me over and over again. And same thing goes with Farrah the Greedy Framer, who was also basically, she was first, when the June 24th result came out, she was advertising incest to me. And then right now, when it was overanalyzed over and over again, every single day, she was also advertising incest to me. It's been marked as incest since 2024. And then you also have Kelly that I just showed you, and Ibrahim the Greedy Framer that I just showed you. So basically, yeah, the thing that I wanted to talk about in this video right now was the fact that Junaid is right now in a state of rage, mainly due to the fact that obviously he doesn't have a job like he usually does not a lot of the times, and he is very sexually frustrated. He has been threatening me lately and saying that he's going to murder me if I do not help him scam these girls, other people's daughters, into sex. And it says right over here, it says one last kill. It was marked as a threat for trying to murder me already on August the 15th, and yet he was still sending it to me now. August the 18th at 1:31 p.m. This basically means that he wants to hurt me. And then August the 18th at 2:06 p.m., he's basically asking me to scam other people's daughters. Again, Pirates Booty. And then it says M&T Bank together, and as in to say, let's go together. And then afterwards, you also have this. He's a very disgusting individual, very dirty, disgusting individual, without a doubt. He has some serious issues. And then August the 18th, he is obviously, it says, is killing Russia's most hated man. Basically, the reason they say this about me, that I am the most hated man, I'll explain that to you. But right now, let's look at the most recent threat. Right over there, one last kill. Again, it says one last kill right there. It is a death threat right there to murder me. And then August 19th, it starts again. Let's ride together. Right over there, this pervert has some serious mental illness issues, is what he has. And then once again, you have the Let's Ride Together Chevrolet ad right over there. He has some serious mental illness issues, is what he has, for sure. So basically, yeah. And so the thing about Junaid is, so Rasputin was basically a guy who had some mystical powers, and he would treat the Tsar's children who had hemophilia. And so he was known to be someone who had mystical powers, mainly due to the fact that he'd gone through so much hardships in life. So basically, yes, they call me Rasputin because they say that I have mystical powers, apparently. It's not about mystical powers. It's just due to the fact that they do bad things, and bad things happen to them, and they're not able to get ahead in life. So you have someone like Ibrahim the Greedy Framer, whom today was August the 18th. Today he had a kidney failure in the hospital. His kidneys failed in the hospital. We already have previous problems where August the 7th, he overdosed on crystal methamphetamine. August the 9th, he overdoses on crystal methamphetamine. And what ends up happening is he dies in the hospital, due to which he ends up getting an arrhythmia. Now, August the 18th, what ends up happening is he gets a kidney failure, and he literally just dies in the hospital again, August the 18th, and he gets a kidney failure. So they basically say that I'm Rasputin. I have mystical powers due to which they have bad luck or bad things happen to them when in fact it has nothing to do with me. It's that saying that that has something to do with me would be like saying that the reason their son Ibrahim, the greedy farmer, likes running after my elementary school teacher and begging her for sex is because I have mystical powers and I gave him these bad habits when in fact that has nothing to do with me. It's how you raise your child, and he ends up becoming extremely envious of other people is what determines with his own luck, his own hard work, and the character you build into him. It determines his own luck in life and his own behavior patterns, which are addiction behavior patterns, and also bad habits of begging older women for sex, mainly my elementary school teachers. So it has nothing to do with me saying that I'm Rasputin and I have mystical powers due to which their son is literally a drug addict who literally literally at least once a week he overdoses on crystal methamphetamine and ends up in the hospital. August the 7th he was in the hospital overdosing on crystal methamphetamine, and then August the 9th, 2 days later, he overdoses, but he literally dies and they have to bring him back to life, and he has a heart arrhythmia. Now, recently on August the 18th, the same exact thing happens, and literally he has a kidney failure. A person who just had heart problems last week on August the 9th, now he has a kidney failure as well, which is not good at all. And everyone thought, I guess they probably thought that he was going to die, but he somehow lived. Now his family thinks that I'm Rasputin and I have mystical powers, when in fact blaming me for him being a drug addict like this would be like blaming me for him begging my elementary school teacher for sex, which is a bad habit. It's depending on how your child is raised and how you raise your child is how they end up being later on in life. They're extremely envious of people. They don't do much in life themselves, and all they're interested in is trying to make false testimonies against others. Like November 20th, he knew about early January. He knew were lies confessed by his mother to the government informant early April. He knew were lies found from the facts and evidences retrieved from the phone conversation retrieved in July. He knew were lies, and he was still trying to fabricate in July. So yes, if you raise your child to become extremely envious of other people, then that's the only thing that they're going to be good at, fabricating false testimonies to lock up my brain savant while begging me at the same time if I would be apparently his brother at his side to help him basically run after these girls whenever he thinks that I have won my case. Like June 28th or July 28th, he would put up this big brother at your side to beg me to help him run after these girls, to scam other people's daughters into sleeping with this crystal methamphetamine addict. Yeah, right. So basically, yes, it's how you raise your child. I am not Rasputin. I do not have mystical powers. It's how you raise your child is how they end up being like in life. It's the same thing with Farrah the Greedy Farmer or any of them. Her bad luck is due to her character. So if she's divorced from her husband, it's not because of me. It's due to the fact that she had very bad character, due to which right now she's openly advertising incest to me in front of everyone very shamelessly while dressing up like a nun. This was marked as an open advertisement for incest in 2024, and it was still sent to me when June 24th was overanalyzed. Same thing right now, August the 18th, 11:30 p.m., still sent to me when June 24th was overanalyzed. And yeah, so these incest requests didn't stop. February 11th through 17 a.m., this was marked as an open advertisement for incest. Sunny Leone is a porn star, and right over here it says Farrah's name on it. And yet it was still sent to me right on March 7th 3 times, despite it being labeled as such on February 11th. It's a person's character that determines their luck in life. So if she's divorced from her husband and her husband is living really happily with his second wife, then then that's not my fault. It might be due to her bad character, due to which right now, when seeing money, she from the artificial intelligence report from my brain savant from June 24th being overanalyzed over and over again, she literally starts advertising incest despite dressing up like a nun. Same thing with my dad, the greedy farmer. I understand he's banned in multiple countries, but that's not because of me being Rasputin. It's because of him encouraging people to go join terror groups, due to which I saw it with my own eyes in 2011. He used to get followed around by the FBI every time he would come to the US as well, even before then. And literally right now he was advertising his own in-laws after advertising his own sisters, even his ugly old disgusting wife on March 12th, and yet now he was advertising his in-laws until his in-laws told him, don't ever ask us this question ever again, you sick freak. So he asked them this question with this 5-foot long beard that he's grown for the past 50 years, only due to greed for money. So these people and their bad luck has to do with their greed for money and their bad character, their extreme envy of people like me, due to which they were fairly fabricating false testimonies against me. And now when they saw the artificial intelligence report from June 24th literally come out and say, with artificial intelligence saying it with its own mouth, that I do have superhuman powers in terms of instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing, and that if I could do an entire textbook that's extremely dry like Ardenbaugh's medicinal chemistry in less than 1 day's time, with more than 1,000 pages, then I could do more than 30,000 pages in 30 days, which is a month. And with superhuman powers and innovation as well, being a brain savant, I can definitely come up with one patent that a normal human being would rely on once in their entire lifetime, once every 30 days for me. And that's what I'm saying. That's what artificial intelligence report would say. And if you want more surety from your own human naked eye, all we need to do is a 30-minute brain savant test in order to see that out in the open. I understand that recently they showed exams of mine where they showed that I wasn't able to do as well, but you have to understand the fact that not only was my brain savant locked up like how it is locked up right now, but that they use extreme amnesia drugs on top of that when I was prepping for the exams and when I was in the exam room, and asking me to have my brain perform even like a normal human being when I'm being given severe amounts of amnesia drugs is the same as asking me and saying that, Hassan, I need you to do a brain savant test right now when my brain savant is completely locked up. I cannot do it. How is that possible for me to do it? It's not possible. So yes, that is what I had to say. And excuse me, yeah. So the next video I'm going to make is going to be about how Junaid and his talking point on short stories or any of his other talking points do not apply to me and do not make any sense.